Yo, 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 YouTube. Thank you for joining us. My name is Adam with the Dollar Box, and in today's episode, we're going to cover the 5 musts when starting a player collection. We appreciate the support. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, ring the bell if you'd like to be notified of future videos. We are doing a video practically every day, every other day for sure. And we're covering things like some breaks, some tips and tricks like this video, some sales recaps, some purchase recaps, some profit analysis, and we talk a lot about how to use the dollar box to build your collections and sell cards for profit. So enjoy this video. Before we start our must list for player collecting, we have to first make some decisions. We have to decide which player we're going to collect. There's plenty of players among plenty of different sports. There's retired players, there's Hall of Famers, there's current players, there's star players, there's under the radar players, low budget, dollar box players that you can find on a budget. So we need to make that decision first. The second part of that decision is, how do you want to collect that player? Do you want to collect everything? Do you want to be a completist? Do you want to look for their autograph cards? Do you want to look for parallels, inserts, rare cards, low numbered cards, all prism cards, things like that? Must number 1 is to start small. Unless you have a large bank account, plenty assets to trade, other rare items, things like that, you're going to need to build your collection up over time. And honestly, that's the hobby portion of cards, and it's a lot of fun. Part of collecting is the constant chase, looking for cards you don't have, letting some cards go to increase your collectability of your collection, value, things like that. So we have to start there. One of the best ways to do this is to look at buying some lots. Even if your collecting goal is not to have low-end base cards and things like that, buying large lots can be a great entry to a collection. You can always grab a few cards out of that lot to help improve your own collection, and then you can resell the others and use those cards to trade up into bigger cards. So it's the dollar box philosophy. You go through, you look for underpriced, discounted cards, bundling cards, buying in lots, things like that to get your best deals, to then use those cards to buy up your collection. Must number 2 is to purchase cards that are not for your collection. So not even the player that you're collecting. And the reason you want to do this is those are going to be your best opportunities to make some profits. They're not going to be cards that are going to be in your PC. You're not going to have an attachment to them. They're simply going to be tools and opportunities for you to get cards that you want for your collection. So for example, you have a chance to purchase a card at half the price you know it's going for on the market. Just watching the market itself, looking for your own player cards, you've noticed this is a card that you could do something with. That's a perfect card to purchase because it's easy for you to relist and flip it. Or if you know another collector buyer, so if you're on Instagram and you have someone on Instagram that's looking for this particular card of a certain player and they're willing to pay this price, and you find it at a price where you can make some profit, that's a great opportunity for you to help someone else with their collection, and in the meantime get some funds to improve your own collection. Must number 3 is to trade up. Talk about this quite a bit on the channel. So I like to look at it as not as flipping or profiting or anything like that, but just taking cards that you can use for opportunity to get you bigger cards. So what I mean by that is, let's say you buy 10 of this base card lot of LeBron James, for example, and the cards are going for about $10 to $15 a piece. You bought them in a lot, so you got them for $5 a piece. So those are great cards to then take and trade to get the parallel from that set, for example, that would have more value and more rarity and something you would want to actually add to your PC. And it doesn't even have to necessarily be your own player's cards, as we talked about in must number 2. Any cards you can use that will help you trade up to your collection. So again, let's say Luca's the hot thing. You're not really collecting Luca, but you know, if you purchase some nice Luca cards, you can take them to a dealer and trade them for Jordan cards you're looking for if you collect Jordan. And they're probably going to be willing to give you a better deal on that particular card because the Luca has so much more demand, and for the dealer it'd be easier to sell and profit from. Not to mention the fact that there's better odds that that card will increase in value faster than the player you're collecting who no longer plays, just in that example. So it's going to depend a lot on who you collect, where you collect, where you live, if you're going to shows, if you're doing eBay, you're doing Instagram, you have followers with different collections that you can help out, things like that, and they can help you out. But the trading up is definitely something that is a must. Must number 4. This may sound a little bit hypocritical because I started out with buy things at a discount to make profit to increase your collection. But when you get to must number 4, stage 4 in your collecting, if you want to call it that, you have to look at putting money up for those cards that you really want, that are rare, you don't see, that kind of thing. You cannot overpay for a card that's for your own collection. So I'm going to say that again. You cannot overpay for a card that's for your collection. It's for you to enjoy. It's for your personal display, for your hobby, side of the hobby. So a super rare card comes up. It's one you really want to add to your collection. It's priced 10% more than the last time the card sold, and you don't think it's, you know, a good deal per se, but when are you going to see that card again? And when you do, how much is it going to be priced at that point, since it's rare and it doesn't come up and people are either hoarding it or just, like I said, just doesn't come around. So you have to consider those things. And if you're truly buying for your player collection, you need to pay the price sometimes to get those cards that you really want. And finally, must number 5. So we've obtained this great collection that we're continuing to grow and evolve and combine, you know, looking at consolidating some cards, things like that. Now you've come to the point of, what do I do with this collection? So you need to find a way to organize it, to keep track of it, to insure it, to display it, to preserve it. Those are all the must number 5s to maintaining your collection. Then the other part of that is to see, where do you want to go from here? So if you've really evolved your collection, do you want to continue to make that collection? Do you want to look at, maybe now you've got some money in some of those cards, you want to look at moving some of those and starting another type of collection? Or let's say you only collected autos and now you'd like to add some short print cards or some die cut cards, or, you know, you want to expand the way you're doing that collection. So we need to have a plan for what we want to do at the end of step 5. So that's it. Those are the 5 musts to putting together a player collection. If you have any other tips or tricks or something I missed or left out, please leave some comments below. I would love to get your feedback on how you do your player collecting, or how you could help someone else build their own player collection. Thanks again for joining the Dollar Box. We appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and we look forward to bringing you more videos in the future.